February 1996. A new game has hit the shelves in Japan. In it, you could battle and capture wild monsters and train them to fight alongside you. It's called Pocket Monsters, and little did we know, it would be one of the biggest cultural touchstones of the late 90s and early 2000s. Its popularity outside of Japan continues to this day under its Western name, Pokémon. Before all of that, players in Japan were finding something strange in a small town in the game. A bit of music, rumored to drive people to suicide. In the original Pokémon games, there is a place called Lavender Town. This town is home to a large Pokémon graveyard, the Pokémon Tower. It is a bit of darkness in an otherwise cheery kids game. The story goes the director of the game, Satoshi Tajiri, wanted to make sure that players who picked the red version of the game over the, in his opinion, superior green version would get headaches from the music. According to the legend, children did get headaches and more. Numbers vary between tellings, but one consistent point is that children began committing suicide. 100 in one story, 200 in another, 3,800 in another. Officials, noticing this disturbing trend, pulled the game and covered up the suicides to retain the popularity of the series. The music was changed for subsequent American releases. This part is actually verifiable. The music in Pokémon Red and Blue in the US is in fact different from the original Japanese release. It's a bit less high-pitched and grating. The legend says that the music contained a tone so high-pitched that it couldn't be heard by adults, so the Lavender Town curse, as it was called, would only affect the youngest and most vulnerable. Those that didn't take their own life would be driven to mutilate themselves or have long-lasting and irreversible headaches, hearing damage, and other afflictions. So how true is it? As a legend, it seems to work because fact-checking would be difficult unless you were fluent in Japanese. There is also a kernel of a true event at play. In 1997, an episode of the Pokémon anime titled Computer Soldier Porygon featured a sequence of flashing lights that caused upwards of 300 Japanese children to suffer non-life-threatening seizures. The legend of Lavender Town Syndrome appeared originally in 2010 on various creepypasta websites. Regardless of whether or not the music causes actual harm, it certainly has had an effect on those that listen to it. The atonal nature of the track builds a mounting sense of dread every second you stay in Lavender Town. I'll play a bit here, and you can get an idea of why people are so fascinated with it. Many gaming news outlets rank it very high on their lists of creepy places and otherwise innocuous games. It is a corruption of innocence that has proved very popular in gaming circles. Things like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy Playtime, and Bendy and the Ink Machine pervert the fun times nature of kids' entertainment, twisting them into horrors to be experienced by a more mature audience. Could Lavender Town syndrome be an extension of that need to find something dark in an otherwise cheery place? In future releases, the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town had been demolished to make way for a radio station. In these releases, the Lavender Town theme was recomposed to make it sound a bit happier. These new compositions helped fuel the theory that the original music was somehow wrong and needed to be removed from the game. But what do you think? Was the Lavender Town music truly dangerous, or is it just a normal, if annoying, tune? Let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. If you like this content, consider dropping a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.